Good evening and welcome to West Talk. Today is Tuesday, November the 29th. We've got a really fun show for you today. We're going to get a little bit festive, we're going to get musical, and it's going to be a good time. I want to remind you again that tickets are on sale right now for the big New Year's Eve party at Marble Mountain. It's going to be the biggest event happening around here this New Year's Eve. We've got the Catch playing and the mixtapes. There's a shuttle that's going to go to Corner Brook in Pasadena. There's food involved. There's no reason not to come out this year and celebrate New Year's like we used to. So you can get your tickets at skimarble.com, Hue and Draw Hotel, Harbor Grounds, or just come up to Marble and buy your tickets. Okay, just like every other episode this season, we are introducing you to a book by a Newfoundland author. And we've got an interesting one today. Today's book is called Confession of a Mountie, Life Behind the Red Surge. And this is by a man named Frank Pitts, who I've actually met and had a chance to interview before, and he's incredibly interesting. Confessions of a Mountie is the dramatic memoir of a retired RCMP officer, Frank Pitts from Bell Island. His story begins with a terrifying standoff between him and a machete-wielding suspect. As his life flashes before his eyes, Frank recalls his enlistment, training, and cases both solved and unsolved that have led him to this moment. Through these flashbacks, we learn what a day in the life of an RCMP officer is like, and the decisions often made in the blink of an eye can mean the difference between life and death. This man had an incredibly interesting career. A Newfoundlander, now back in Newfoundland, was, I believe, the head of security at the Vancouver Special Olympics, and has been involved in some of the sort of the biggest criminal activity and events that have happened in this country. So check it out at a fine book retailer near you. Anyway, right into our first guest here in the studio to talk about this year's Santa Claus Parade in Corner Brook, the highly anticipated holiday event. We have from the Kinsmen of Corner Brook Club, Steve Churchill and Dave Randall. Boys, thanks for coming down today.
Hey Dustin, thanks for having us.
Yeah, now I know you are two representatives of the many fellows who are involved in the organization of the parade, certainly a big event for the city. Last year we spoke to Mr. Hoff, I think. We spoke on behalf of the group. Mm-hmm. And now we got you guys to deal with. So what can you tell us about this year's parade, and anything different about it, anything people need to know, and what should people expect?
Well, the theme this year is Christmas around the world, so we're hoping all of the people who have registered can come up with different styles representing different countries and nationalities and that type of thing.
Cool.
How they see Christmas around the world. So that's one thing that's different. The time and the route and the place is all the same.
Okay, so it's still nighttime.
Yep, still starts at 5 p.m., 5 to 7.
5 to 7. Starts up at Corporal Pinkston, is it up there?
Yep, Corporal Pinkston down to University, up through Mount Bernard, West Valley Road, West Street, and Main Street, back up to Broadway, and then back up Mount Bernard to the Pepsi Center or the Civic Center.
Right on. Okay, and so for people who maybe want to put a float into the parade this year, how do they do it, and is there still time and all that?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways you can do it actually. The easiest way would be to go to our Facebook page, Kinsmen Club of Corner Brook. There you'll see a link to register your float. When you follow that link, all the information that is required will be there, which will come to my email, and then I'll have you pre-registered. The second way to register would be the day of the parade, and Dave's going to take care of that, so maybe he can.
So just go down and see you on the day of, or what?
Yeah. So on parade day, we're gonna be situated at the top of the hill in Corporal Pinkston, not at the lights.
Yep.
Previous years we've always started at the lights, and we walked back up the hill as the floats lined up. But we're going to register at the top of the hill and send the floats down this year, which we think will work better for us, and we'll have a few people walking back and forth to line people up. But
cool.
But we're happy to take people who haven't registered. We'll get their information when they come to get in the lineup, and it'd be nice if we had them registered beforehand. But we're not going to turn them away if they come.
Right, and there's no cost associated with it either, really, right?
No cost.
Yeah.
No.
So you encourage anyone, not a lot of businesses like to take part, but really individuals and families could sort of go at this themselves too, couldn't they?
Everyone's welcome. We usually average around 35 floats. We're pretty much there already this year, so we're hoping for a little bigger parade. But yeah, everybody's welcome.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so just to sort of skip the page a little bit for a second, How is it that the Kinsmen have come to like organize the Santa Claus parade? And how long has this been going on for?
I think
Your best guess.
I think this is our 11th year.
This is our
Oh, really?
11th year doing the parade, and we got it from the Lions Club, who originally did it. I guess when they were finished with it, we took it over, and we immediately made it into a night parade.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our 11th year doing it, and hopefully that'll continue.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I know last year you made some upgrades, got some new reindeer, I think it was, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, some nice new shiny reindeer, so that's awesome. And as a club right now, this seems like a pretty fun thing to do. Like I would love to be a part of a club that got to organize stuff like this in the community. So what else can you tell us about the club and sort of what you guys are up to here in the community besides just this type of fun stuff? What else do you guys do together?
Yeah, we I was saying to the guys just Friday night we hosted a seniors Christmas party, and at the Elks Lodge, and we've done that for about 30 years, but because of COVID we stopped for a few years, but so we didn't have as big a turnout as we would have liked for that, but the people who were there had a great time. So we do a bit of music and some food and whatnot, so that's another Christmas sort of project that we do. And a lot of people see us out in the community either selling tickets at Canadian Tire or doing fundraising things like running Prince Edward Park, and for years we were at the Pepsi Center canteen, which we don't do anymore. We kind of handed that over to the minor hockey, but we love to do the things for the community where we're not out looking for money and trying to raise money. Things like the Santa Claus parade where we're giving back to the community, and seniors Christmas parties and those types of events. Those are the ones that are a lot of fun and that we really enjoy doing.
Yeah, fundraising can be is a lot, right? It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of time, it's a lot of asking, and I love the causes that you guys align with for sure. But for yourselves, individuals as club members, what can you tell us about that experience? I guess what I'm getting at is why might someone else be interested to join the club?
From my point of view, the fellowship we get, in this case the brotherhood, it's a man's club, but it allows you to get away from work, get outside your house, get involved with the community, and help out wherever you can. And to me it's a good group of friends that I can just kind of get away and do something besides work. So
something meaningful.
Yeah, I enjoy that part of it.
Yeah.
And we make a living in this community, and it's nice to be able to give back. And when I first got involved, I wanted to find something to do in the community to give back because I was making a living here, and that's how I kind of decided to join Kinsmen. I actually got brought to a meeting by a friend of mine who I knew, and that's how a lot of us end up in Kinsmen. Actually, I brought Steve to his first meeting.
Is that how it has to happen? Is it like an invite only?
No, not at all. No, if somebody is interested, they can contact any Kinsman. We'll pick them up and bring them to their first meeting, and we'll even. We do dinner meetings every second meeting. We'll even serve them supper. So.
I mean, it sounds cool because I know there's a lot of people out there for different reasons, like you said, because they're employed here or otherwise. But a lot of people at some point get that little calling or itch that they want to help out in the community. They want to contribute, but it's not always clear how or where to start. So that's why I think groups like this are awesome, right? You can walk in the door and you can start being part of community improvement projects.
Yep.
So I think that's awesome. Kudos to you guys for being part of that.
Thank you.
And so Santa Claus Parade. It's going to be very exciting. And anything else? I know in the past there was like sensory safe areas, things like that. Anything like that on the list here?
There's actually 3 things on that. First, we do have the sensory-free zone. It's at the start of the parade from Corporal Pinson Drive down to the bottom of University. That meets Mount Bernard. There'll be no flashing lights or no loud music, so please feel free to take that part of the parade in if that's your need.
Cool.
Also, the letter carriers, post office, will be in the parade again this year, and they'll be collecting letters for Santa. So they asked us to make sure to get that message out. And the food bank, of course, the food bank will be involved in the parade again. So
So people can just bring down like non-perishables right as they stand on the street?
Yeah, they'll have people walking. They'll come up, you just hold the bag out, and they'll come get it from you and put it in the truck. Same with the letter carriers; they'll come pick up the letters. So
cool.
And they'll be from the start of the parade right to the end. So
very exciting.
Yeah, I think that's it for the community part.
Yep, I think
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I can't wait. Of course, we're going to be broadcasting the parade live from West Street.
Yes.
And it'll also be on Bay of Islands Radio, I think.
Yes.
So those who won't be able to come out, or maybe who don't want to stand in the cold, will be able to watch live or listen live from the radio. So that's awesome. Anything else you gents wanted to say about the parade or the Kinsmen or Christmas or anything like that while we have you?
For me, just a reminder to register or follow our Facebook page, Kinsmen Club of Corner Brook. Every day we're going to be doing posts this week, right up until the parade, with instructions, the times, all that information, and my contact information will be there. If anybody has any questions, they can call me or text me or email me. So for the registration part, I'd like to make sure that everybody realizes that, and of course you can register on the day of. Anything else, Dave?
Yeah, no, and the forecast is looking pretty good as of this morning. Don't want to jinx it. So it's going to be a great day or evening so I'd like to encourage people and families to come out. Just want to touch again on the safety part of it. On the turn, some of these large trucks have requirements of a lot of room. We'll have people walking with those trucks, but we need people to stay back behind the barricades and people to watch their kids that they don't jump out in under the trucks and stuff. Just the normal safety stuff, which as we're registering the floats, I'll be handing rules and guidelines and stuff to people, because we want everybody to have fun, and we don't want to have anybody getting hurt or any incidents throughout the parade. So
no, that would be no way to start this holiday season, would it?
No, exactly. So just want everybody to have safety foremost in their minds.
Awesome. I think with you guys at the helm, it's going to be safe. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be an awesome night. So thank you both for coming down here and telling us about this year's parade.
Thank you, Dustin.
Thanks for having us, Justin.
Yeah. Our pleasure. All right, we're going to take a quick break and be back with our next guest, and there will be music. Stay tuned.
So why volunteer at Rogers TV? Well, it's fun, exciting, and challenging. You can develop practical, hands-on skills in TV production, make new friends, and have fun, all while giving back to your community. For a few hours a week, you can be part of a great team making great local television. Want to find out more? Get in touch with us at rogerstv.com. Make your mark and find a new passion as a Rogers TV volunteer.
All right, and now we're back with our second guest in studio, someone we introduced you to last season on West Talk, actually, a friend and musician from Twillingate, Newfoundland, here in studio now, Mr. Jordan Harnum. Jordan, thanks for coming down, buddy.
Oh, how's it going, Dustin? Good to see you again.
Yeah, man. So what are you doing in town now this week?
Came in, my partner Joelle, and her business had to market at the Hue and Jaw, so I did a couple shows throughout and Boomstick throughout the weekend, and went up and seen my buddies up to Bishop's Fairgale, which was a great show, and heading back to Twillingate now in a little bit.
Dandy. Yeah, it was a good time Saturday night.
It was excellent, yeah.
Thanks for coming down, buying tickets.
Yeah, great
support.
venue. I really liked the venues.
Yeah, we'll have to get you down there the winter playing in there, because we had you up at Marble this winter past, but that wasn't really established in that way, right? So
for sure. Yeah.
So it's a great little room for you. And how's things been going in Twillingate?
It's been ever since the summer sort of dropped off a little bit. I was here in Corner Brook for a bit doing some recording last month, and we had music all week, of course, just after that, and went home for a little bit and then back out here again now. So got some more stuff coming in here up here in the new year as well.
Who are you recording with out here, Phil? And
I'm recording with Phil, at Ginger Beer Productions. So looking to get back in the studio now in the new year and finish up some stuff.
Cool, man. Yeah, it's awesome. It seemed like you had a really busy summer out there. I guess planning a lot of tourism and things like that on the go. So
very busy, and the room is in Twillingate is like there's people coming through every night, so it's a different audience.
So you had your own standing show, right? Like you're playing every night.
6 and 7 nights a week. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's 2 different sets, but it's usually a different room of people every night because there's only a local table, say, per night, and everybody else is traveling. So
cool. So they're basically coming out to see you to get their taste of what music is like in Newfoundland and what Newfoundland musicians are like. So I guess it's a very sort of traditional show that you put on.
Yes, I try to keep the stories pertaining to Newfoundland or
Yeah.
or to my own experiences and keep it real, you know, because people really like real.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So it's a little blend of culture and song, and
Yeah.
And are you playing mostly your own music at these shows, or mixing it up?
I
And
play
playing
a little bit of a mix, like
Yeah.
some requests, but I try to work in a lot of my own tunes that are Newfoundlandy, and
Yeah.
I try to keep it a little bit mixed because people want to hear just the Newfoundland tunes as well. So
Yeah.
I like to keep everybody happy.
Yeah, and you've got your own sort of take and spin that you put on those like standards anyway. It makes it
Yes.
pretty fresh.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So I want to talk about your new track here now in a second, and I think we'll actually get you to play it if that's all right.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
But like, what do you see now? What do you see for yourself as a musician and an artist in Newfoundland? How are you visualizing coming out of COVID the next 2 or 3 years? Do you have any goals or any things you want to see happen, or any, you know?
Well, one of my goals last year was to move into some different rooms where people are more pertain to listening, coming to see an actual production of a show. So
Not like a bar, we'll say.
not like a bar,
Yeah.
no. But that's been pretty good for me because after the summer, I got contacted by Arthur there last month, and he's doing an ACC tour.
Arthur
now.
O'Brien?
Arthur O'Brien,
Yeah.
yeah. He's doing an ACC tour now coming up in March, so I'll be on as the opener for that. And we're doing some other stuff around, so keep an eye open.
Yeah.
I think we're here in Corner Brook on April 21st.
Nice.
At the Culture Center. So that stuff is more of what I'd like to lean into in the coming years. And
Yeah, so get more. I mean, when I first met you, it was, geez, I don't know, 7 years ago or something, and you walked into what was at the time Flynn's Pub.
yes.
And I was there taken down from the night before, right? So you've been playing that scene. You've been grinding that scene really for a long time,
Yeah.
eh? Like playing the bars all over the island, and a good way to get your name out. But now, you know, is it because you're more focused on original music now that you're like, you want these different types of venues?
Yeah, I think the more it's like people are coming to see you play, so they're going to be listening. So
Yeah.
they're paying their cover, they're coming, you keep them entertained, they're listening to the stories. Whereas sometimes in a bar setting, people are there just to, it's a bar, they're there to chat,
Yeah.
they're there meeting with friends and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's more
It's kind of
just-
background music
it's a-
sometimes,
yeah,
right?
it's a different atmosphere. So yeah, and the earlier nights, right? You know.
Yeah. And so you've been doing it, you've done a few house shows, I think, along on your previous tours and things like that. What's your favorite part about playing in a stranger's living room?
The personal connection you've achieved while doing that. So I played a show in Sydney, Nova Scotia last year, and it was only 4 people. And just for a show that this guy did after COVID,
Yeah.
and
In
there
his
was a
house?
snowstorm in his house. He's a musician as well, Adam Young. He's a great pianist and Canadian folk musician. Check him out if you get a chance. And we did it there, and just it was him and his friends and stuff. And I just sat around his table, and now I have 3 people that actually got to see me in a setting where,
Yeah.
you know, something about just being there and playing for people in a home that makes
Yeah.
it very personal.
Yeah, you end up with true fans.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you could play in a bar with 200 people in it and not make a connection with 4 people. You know, convert them as true followers and fans, like as you can in a house show. That makes total sense.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how.
So your new tune, tell us about that. I know you just sent me something in the inbox now a little while ago. Is this
Yeah.
released now, or is this a coming release?
Yeah, it released on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I wrote it back in 2018, just after I finished The Boys Around the Bay, and it's sort of been developing over that time. Like, I mean, the version I played at Music and L Week with Ronnie Power in 2018 is nothing like the version you'll hear now in a minute when I play it.
Yeah.
But I took it into Robert Kelly. Robert did a bunch of recording. I'm going to release some singles that I have in the bank with Robert, and he did a bunch of recording at Bond Street Studios, and I had like Aaron Collis played mandolin and accordion on it. Maria Cherwick played fiddle. Rowan Sherlock played violin. Dan George played drums.
Right.
And Robert did his magic with the guitar and the bass and
So
stuff.
you got the who's who on the
Yeah,
track.
yeah, and then like it sort of became into a tune as we produced it that way in the studio. And the final production is a lot different than, it got a lot of Robert's fingerprints on it, and
Yeah.
I'm really happy that he helped me out with that, right?
That's awesome. Well, I definitely want everyone to go listen to the studio version of this track,
Yes.
which is awesome. But for all of our viewers at home, would you mind playing it for us here live in the studio?
Not a
one time?
problem at all.
Awesome, man.
Great.
Well, it's been great chatting with you, and let's get you over to the sound stage and hear your new release, Honeymoon.
Yeah, it's always good to chat with Dustin.
day I left my babe, searching for a better way. The water's the only thing that's kept me fed. I've been sipping on too much gin. I don't know which direction I'm heading in. I gotta keep my boat from running the show. It's been a cold winter June, waiting on the honeymoon. The wind, the rain, the snow is hitting me. I've been sailing from port to port. I can't tell south from north. I'm gonna follow this honeymoon till I get home. My mind drifts off all day, and my boat goes astray. I wonder where you are and how you've been. I'm coming over top of the rocks. I know we'll come out on top, 'cause that's just how I fish out here on the banks. It's been a cold winter June, waiting on the honeymoon. The wind, the rain, the snow is hitting me. I've been sailing from port to port. I can't tell south from north. I'm gonna follow this honeymoon till I get home. Today I reached my bay. The fish are all straightened away, and all I long to do is see your smile. Well, I gotta get out of the race to feel a touch and kiss your face. Well, this time I'm coming home for good. It's been a cold, lonely June, waiting on the honeymoon. The wind, the rain, the snow is hitting me. I've been sailing from port to port. I can't tell south from north. You kept me sailing straight over the sea. I've been off coast east to west. I don't know right from left. I'm gonna follow this honeymoon to guide me home. Gonna follow your honeymoon till I get home.
And that's it for today's episode. I want to thank Jordan Harnum for making the trip out from Twillingate to share his story and his new music with us, as well as Dave Randall and Steve Churchill from the Kinsmen of Corner Brook, who are telling us all about this year's Santa Claus Parade, which we hope to see you all out to. If you want to put a float in there, we really encourage you to. And yeah, it's going to be a great day this weekend coming up. And get more details on the Kinsmen's Facebook page. That's it for tonight. We'll see you next week on another episode of West Talk.
do 4 beats to call our ancestors to our circle. For 15 years, I was very involved with the community. And then one day, a tragedy happened. My 15-year-old grandson was killed in a car accident. There's nothing in this world like it. I went to a very dark place where all you can think about is the loss and the pain. And nothing else comes into your mind until one day you get a phone call and all of a sudden the light comes on and you remember, well, maybe I'll go, it may help, it may not help. But the moment that I got into the circle, and it was like a weight lifted. The culture is, for me, is what brought me back. My family, my friends too, as well, of course, in the community, but my culture, my beliefs, and the women. A healing circle is very powerful. You have women who have been through trauma, who at the moment are probably still going through trauma like I was, physically and emotionally. When the stick or the rock is passed around to each person and they speak, it's like a piece of your pain went to each of them. And when the stick comes back to you, half of that load on your shoulder seems to be lifted. It's very powerful, and it's there. It's offered to anybody who needs it. A healing circle can be called anytime. There are a lot of things that we offer in the culture, help offers in the culture, the Women's Association, with talking circles and healing circles, workshops, different workshops that you can come to. I think if you're focused on something other than your grief, it takes away for that little, that short period of time. It gives you some relief and something to look forward to. And I think every time you do that, it gives you little baby steps back into where you should be, back into your life and back into your community's life, your family's life.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
Watching hockey just got a power play with NHL Center Ice and Super Sports Pack. With up to 37 out-of-market NHL games a week, you'll always catch your favorite team no matter where you live. Whether it's big matchups you're looking for or following your top fantasy picks, it's all here. NHL Center Ice, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack. All this for only $35.95 a month. Order through your remote on Channel 450 or call 1-888-ROGERS-1 today.
Was that 4 or 5? He's lost count and still thinks he can drive. Do you think he knows that when he is caught and charged with impaired driving, he'll lose his license and a lot more? If he gets in his car, he'll face costs exceeding $20,000.